Let's continue diving into Project Looking Glass and how Project Bluebeam and the Schumann resonance all connect. Previously, we talked about how Project Looking Glass and disclosure go hand in hand. If we take it a step further, we can see that there is a connection between the Looking Glass and Project Bluebeam. As the Looking Glass is the eye, the ability to see the future, and Project Bluebeam is the stage, the ability to fake a reality. Now, according to the lore, the dark or the deep state use the looking glass to see exactly how humanity would react to different crises. So the looking glass allegedly allowed the elite to simulate the success of Project Bluebeam. They could test different versions of a fake alien invasion in the future to see which one would successfully trick the population into accepting a one world government. Now, the blue beam is the physical execution using massive holographic projectors connected to this word that I can't say because they track that. Um, that is the modern connection, and low frequency sound waves that they would project as the gods or spaceships in the sky. Now, the timeline convergence deadline does matter here. So, according to the looking glass theory and what we've already learned, there is a deadline for 2026 to 2030 where humanity reaches the point of no return, where the consciousness rises too high for the elites to control. Now, because the looking glass went dark and showed a locked path victory for humanity in 2030, theorists believe that the elites are rushing Project Bluebeam. And this is why you're seeing an influx of disclosure in the mainstream news, seeing this as a priming phase for the Bluebeam event. Now, the white hats or the military insiders saw the blue beam plan through the looking glass and decided to leak it to the public decades ago. This turned everything into a victory. By exposing the script, they rendered the show ineffective. If the looking glass shows that the public knows the invasion is fake, then the elites cannot use the technology to achieve their goal. So this is called the Great Spoiling. Modern theorists point to the current wave of UAP hearings in Congress as the Blue Beam Bridge. They argue that the dark is using the looking glass predicted window of 26 to launch a controlled disclosure, and that this is a 100% faked blue beam event. Now, at this point, humanity is to awake. Okay, we've gone so deep into this theory that humanity is to awake. Okay, and this is the white hats' argument for the collective consciousness of humanity. They have outgrown the old tricks. But the holograms is only stage 2 of the blue beam narrative. The real hook is stage 3, the telepathic electronic two-way communication, also called the voice of God technology. Theorists claim that the elites know that a 3D hologram in the sky is not enough to convince people. So, to bypass your logic, they are allegedly using voice-to-skull technology. Does this sound familiar yet? So by using ELF waves, they can beam sound directly into the human auditory cortex, so you won't hear it with your ears, but you will perceive it inside like a voice talking in your head. By projecting the holographic God or alien while you're hearing, I am your creator, we're here to save you, whatever they're broadcasting, the attempt here is to create a powerful psychological hit that allows people to bypass rational thought. The looking glass allegedly revealed that the human brain operates like a biological radio. And according to the looking glass researchers, they found a specific resonant frequencies of human consciousness, Remember that because we're going to circle back. Now, how do you weaponize this? Project Bluebeam allegedly uses the same frequencies found by the looking glass to handshake with the human brain. If they can match the frequency of T1, the awakening frequency, they can try to mimic it artificially to trick people into following a false path. But because of the solar flash and the rising frequency of Earth, the Schumann resonance, humans are becoming immune to these frequencies. As humanity awakens, our internal frequency becomes more stable. Just as you can't tune to a radio station if the signal's too weak, the voice of God technology cannot latch onto a mind that is at peace or spiritually centered. The looking glass allegedly showed that by 26, the voice of God tech would only work on people in a state of deep fear. And for the rest of the population that is awake, it would sound like static, or they would immediately recognize that it was artificial. So here is just a quick table of all of that information. So returning back to this, the key of the brain, the resonant frequencies. The frequency of the Schumann resonance, 7.83 hertz, is considered the master key to the human interface. This is considered the biological handshake. Project Looking Glass was allegedly not just a machine you looked into like a TV. It required a human interface. The device could only see what the human observer had tuned to the machine. And when your brain waves enter 7.83 hertz, you reach a state of quantum coherence. The frequency sits exactly at the border between theta and alpha. And the result is a specific frequency. The human mind acts as a bridge, allowing data from the looking glass to be translated visually from the brain, so the brain can understand. Now, the looking glass often points to a predicted glitch in the Schumann resonance. And some claim around 2026, the resonance will appear to spike or white out on the monitoring charts. In the looking glass lore, this isn't just a weather event, it's the solar flash, beginning to rewrite the human BIOS. This frequency shift is what allegedly blinds the looking glass because the machine can't calculate a reality where base frequency of consciousness has changed. And here is a quick table summarizing all of that. So where Project Looking Glass and Project Bluebeam meet, the biological handshake, this is the most controversial layer. The dark realized they couldn't fool the naturally awakened mind, so they allegedly sought to hardwire a receiver into the human body. The claim is that there's a large-scale medical intervention that was used to introduce nanotechnology into the human bloodstream. And this nanotechnology acts as little antennas, and it forces the human body to sync to external signals like 5G or the Bluebeam satellite rather than the Earth's resonance. And if we've learned anything about how the human body and the SR, Schumann resonance, are connected, it is over the top. And there's a reason why in my paper I wrote about the 5G and how it messes with us. There's a reason why that video was blocked. You can read it on my Substack. So according to the Looking Glass whistleblower, the human body has a natural firewall. So if Project Bluebeam wants to use the voice of God in your head, it needs a clear signal. And the nanotechnology acts as a signal amplifier, making the brain susceptible to telepathy that we discussed earlier. Now, this Looking Glass simulator did show that a T2 timeline where humans were fully integrated with this tech, having the hive mind being controlled by AI. I'm out of time, so in the next video, we'll go over why this is crucial and how it's connected to this, which I also can't say.